Test. There we go. Hey, Pot TV.
Should we start it again? So it's like
Here you go. Here you go.
No, just start talking again.
There you go. No, do it.
Oh.
Stop. Do it. Yeah. We'll be back in 1 second. 1 sec, guys. 1 sec. Yo. Show was good. Really good. I think we are live again. All right. So here we are. We are live, and now we have sound, actually. What's up, guys? And now we have video.
Let's try that one more time.
What are you doing? Why not start it? You're going to turn the outputs off again? Oh, we got the video. Look at Yeah, baby. Look at that intro. Got the title card. Lift Expo, Vancouver. Here we are. Neil Magnuson with us now, and Carly Marley. I'm Jeremiah. We're set up on Cart Beast here at the Lift Expo in Vancouver. We're at the Vancouver Convention Center. Pot TVers out there. We should have sound and be all good now. I think we're good. Does everything look and sound good? Please let us know in the chat. Echo, it says. Craig says there's an echo, brother. Do we have multiples going at once here?
There's nothing else popped up right now. Oh, we had an echo for a second with the...
We're all good now? Let us know. If there's still an echo, everything's good. Thumbs up, they say. We're good on sound. All right. So what we were trying to say before is we want to go see Dr. Mark Weir, who's speaking about the government task force. He's one of the members of the task force. We're on Mobile Cart Beast, so we're going to be rolling through the event the whole weekend for you guys live here. We're rolling. There's Natasha right now. Natasha. Lift organizer, hello.
I'm not the organizer.
Oh, well, one of the organizers.
Of the
helper, okay. Well, you have
there's,
an official title.
Tyler.
It's like Chief something. What was the official title?
Chief Engagement Officer.
Engagement Officer. Well, I'd call you, that's an organizer.
Away.
Oh, Tyler's running. He's always trying to run from the cam. And Kyle next to him, too. So how's it going so far today?
It's going great. I mean, judging that the weather is raining, there's still a ton of people here. It's just...
I got a little wet on the way in.
Yeah.
Well, and so we haven't missed any of the speakers yet, have we? Is it starting now? Oh, no, okay. We want to go check him out. Okay, it was good to see you. We'll come and talk to you again soon, for sure. So, yeah.
I want to try and add this extension back on, too.
Okay, I'm going to dance around with the microphone. I can walk backwards like this. Oh, I can see behind me even. So, hey, Kyle, what's up? We're going to go. We'll come back.
Yeah, we're good. We're back.
We have a problem there?
Just trying the extension to see if it works.
Oh, the extension's broken. Okay. Well, we can. I think I have one in my laptop case. So Johnny B, Medtainer booth.
Right now, too.
Pretty laggy. Yeah, it might. It could be a little laggy. What's up, guys?
There, guys. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna go and get stationary. There may be some lag over the weekend because that's the nature of broadcasting live on location. We have a broadcast box that we have from Rogers that allows us to do this stuff. Yeah, it's the newest and best. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work perfectly when you're indoors in a large building made of cement. And that's what we are at the moment. What's up, homie? So here we are. We're rolling up on the task force speech by Dr. Mark Weir, first guy on the panel here. Good question, but this will be, we can go up to the speaker area.
I think the first meeting that we had was really kind of who is everybody, why are we here, what's our expertise, and I think for several people who weren't exposed to the cannabis world prior to embarking on the task force, there was a fair bit of, wonder why I've been chosen to be on this. And what I can tell you now is that this is an incredible group of people. The expertise from the different perspectives, the humanity, the compassion, the interest that these people have shown in the course of this last few months is remarkable. There's a lot of kind of concern that this was a very heavily law enforcement stacked group. There weren't any people from the patient community. There was sort of representation that was missing. I can tell you that the perspectives prior to be embarking on the task force mandate itself was already very, very broad and very, very open. So I was really impressed. I was terrified about who von Tigerstrom was. I thought that might be a real challenge, but she turns out to be an absolutely charming, wonderful lawyer from Saskatchewan, extremely smart. Producers, it gets to mechanisms of testing for quality, for what do we need to know about this product to make sure that it's safe for people to consume? How should that be labeled? What's the ideal scenario? Should it be different from medical use? Somebody who's using it for non-medical purposes, and so on. So safe and responsible production tracking mechanisms. Should there be systems for monitoring inventory and seed to sale kinds of tracking systems? All of these have been discussed. Distribution systems, from mail order to dispensaries to compassion clubs to liquor stores to other aspects of delivery. All of these issues have been discussed and have been considered and are still being considered. I think there's a huge amount of debate about whether cannabis should be available for shops for sale in conjunction with alcohol. We've heard concerns about why that should be a bad idea. We've heard people suggesting that that's actually a good way because there are already mechanisms for controlling inventory, for tracking sales, for training staff, and we hear perspectives on pretty much every single one of these issues. There are people on both sides of the fence, and extreme positions on both sides of the fence. And our challenge is trying to find that pathway down the middle that balances and addresses all those concerns. Public safety and protection, what do you do if somebody sells a dab rig to a 12-year-old? What do you do if somebody is driving under the influence of cannabis and causes a car accident? What are the penalties involved? If we take this out of the out of the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act, out of the schedules, and it becomes no longer a criminal offense to possess, what does that mean for penalties, administrative penalties? This is all language that I've had to learn as we go through, but it's not trivial. Remember, we're undoing 100 years of prohibition, and these rules, these attitudes, these stigmas have been embedded in our society for a very long time. Going back in and taking this apart and rebuilding something is not trivial, and I think we have to recognize that it's not a simple swipe of the pen that can fix all of this. We have to do this in a way that responds to the concerns. And law enforcement, this is something that they're very clear about. They want to know what it is that's right and what it is that's wrong. And as long as they know that, they can help us enforce the law. But they need to know clearly what it is, and there's a lot of confusion going on right now. And then medical purposes. This is the area that's obviously closest to my heart because this is where I came to this story. And I probably some of the most passionate appeals that we've heard over the last couple of months have been, please make sure you protect cannabis for medical purposes. Please make sure that as patients we still have access to medicine. Please pay attention to pricing and GST, and pay attention to quality, and pay attention to access points and people that can help us understand, educate physicians, educate pharmacists, the whole spectrum of the healthcare system. And I think this is a huge preoccupation for us as a task force, and it's something that we've been very, very carefully looking at. Of course, it changes. The whole medical marijuana regulations that have been set up and changed, as many of you know, over the years, have evolved in the context that cannabis is illegal. Otherwise, we wouldn't need to have these kinds of regulations if cannabis were not an illegal substance outside of medical use. So once you make it legal, what does that do to the medical program? Now suddenly, if you can grow your own or buy it in a dispensary or buy it in a liquor store, or you can access it through mail order, how does that change your need to now go and see a physician to get an authorization to be able to, it transforms the whole process, and we need to think carefully about how and when that process starts to transition. So how do we go about answering these questions? That's the framework that we were given to sort of think about all of these things. So we began a process of meeting with provincial governments, territorial governments. In some of these meetings, municipalities were represented, as they all have perspectives. Most of the provinces and territories have started to initialize thinking about this issue. Some are much more advanced than others in terms of how they're approaching it. Very few have come out with formal, provincially accepted processes. They're all playing with different ideas and different concepts as how this could work out. But a lot of it is waiting for the task force to report back and say, okay, this is the framework that we recommend. And then once that happens, a lot of other things can start to trickle down, but there's a lot of pressure to see what happens with the task force report. So we had provincial territorial meetings. Public consultation was also conducted through a website. I think probably the coolest email address ever, cannabis@canada.ca. which we received 28,800 submissions in total. Now, just to put that in perspective, the medical aid in dying legislation went to public consultation. In the course of 6 months, they received about 16,000 submissions. I think this is one of the most, and in fact we've had some discussions, this is up there among the top 3 of most widely consulted, or the largest number of input that's been received for any kind of legislation that's been tabled in recent years in Canada. So huge amount of interest. And before you start thinking that the task force has to read all of these, I'll let you know that an agency has been hired to study and read every single one of these reports. And the process, for those of you interested in research, and forgive me if I geek out a bit here, but there's a process of reading every single one and coding it into what kind of response this is. Is this about medical? Is this about law enforcement? Is this about my personal use? Is this about? We have received a huge number of these things. Some of them range from 2 very simple words, which I won't repeat here, to large essays about how we think this should be done. 80% of the people that we've heard from are cannabis users, either medical or non-medical. So there's clearly, these are people interested and engaged in the topic. About 73% male, and about 64% between